All right, this is my interview with Nana. Would you like to state your name for the record?
Okay. Mary Louise.
Mary Louise.
Mm-hmm.
As I told you before, I'm writing a book on inner peace, how to find it, and how to keep it. How would you define inner peace?
I gotta think about that one.
Tough question?
Actually, I gotta think about that
Oh,
one.
take your time, take your time.
I guess it'd be with, like, clear in your mind. Something like that.
That's a great answer. How would you describe a peaceful person?
Relaxed and not worried too much about things around you that bother you. Don't let nothing bother you.
Why do you think they call Jesus the Prince of Peace?
Now that's a tough question. I don't really know about that one.
Any guesses?
Yeah. Like if you follow whatever he left in this world for the example.
Mm-hmm.
For the example.
Yeah, they call him a teacher.
Mm-hmm. For example, you can follow that if you choose to.
And if you do, you think then you'll find peace?
I don't think you'll ever really find peace until you die. You know, until you're gone.
Mm-hmm. Think it's possible to find it as we live on this earth?
No. Because there's always something that comes to disturb you.
Well, my theory is that everyone knows it, but only for small periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
So they do know it, but it goes away because of what's coming next. What the hard part isn't finding peace, because I think that a lot of things, Christmas Day, that's always a very peaceful day. The hard part, I think, is
To keep it.
Perpetual peace. That's what I'm searching for.
Yeah, but like I said, that's actually impossible to follow Jesus, to follow his example, but you try
Yeah.
to follow the example.
Yeah.
Trying to follow the example of your parents, that they left you example,
Mm-hmm. And I think in that effort, trying to live a life like Jesus, I think that's when we'll be rewarded. It is in our effort to try.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
It's the same thing. I think it is possible to find it for a little while,
Mm-hmm.
at least. And most people do find it somehow or another. I don't know exactly how you find it, but
That's another tough question too. It's honestly, I think it's two journeys. One of which to find it, to get yourself from moving backwards and moving negative and moving in anger and moving in greed and all that, starting to move forward towards the light, towards what Jesus would say to live, towards his example of being a good person and being charitable and things of this nature. And once you start moving in that direction, you begin to find it more frequently.
yeah. It is true. You have to really try to find it, because it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
The examples he left,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. A lot of people, even at my age, I don't think I've really found peace. Even though it looks like I could find it at my age.
Well, from an outside view, you appear as a peaceful person. Now, I think that's just something I've been thinking about, is behaving in a peaceful manner and having inner peace. Are those two the same? Are they related? Are they different? What it seems to be you're telling me is that even though you behave in a peaceful manner, you still sometimes lack feeling it within. Would you say that's true?
In a way, yes, but like I say, you gotta understand there's always something always comes to annoy you or get in the way when you're trying to find this, be a good person actually, and nobody's going to be that good. But not all going to be Jesus. There's only one Jesus.
Yeah.
There's only one Jesus.
Yeah. And the goal, I think, is to strive to live a life based off that example. And I think that over time, we can develop little by little a life that's closer and closer, but never quite reaching that, 100%. But our goal isn't 100%. Our goal is to walk that same direction.
Yeah, and like I say, a lot of times it's like you get sick and you start worrying about something else. You're saying, how in the world are you going to find peace when you're in pain? Or maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to have pain in order to find a better life.
Well, I know that when you know a lot of pain and then you're free of that pain, there's a great peace in that.
Exactly.
Because I know what it was, and I know that this ain't what it could. We're talking over here. To then have the absence of that pain can bring a lot of peace too.
Exactly. Like I say, a lot of time you say, thank God that it's over, or this happened, that way you can learn from it or feel better about it,
or have some perspective. Having the perspective to say that today is not that bad of a day because I know a bad day and this ain't a bad day. So those little things like, oh, it's raining, or whatever, I dropped the whole thing of flour, like those things won't ruin your day because you know what a real bad day is.
Exactly. Yeah, you're writing it for me. Like I say, it's you have to thank God for the cold or the rain or the weather. Anyhow, however you can get out there in it, or if you can get in it or not. If it's that bad, you're not going to go out there in it anyway. But I do. Yeah, Clayton says, well, it's raining. I was just wondering if you was out there in it.
Yeah, he's always telling me, oh, Nana's always walking and walkers on the worst days. It's beautiful for 2 days straight, and the day starts raining, she decides to go to Family Dollar, or what have you.
That's when I need something.
Yeah, but we thank God for shelter. We thank God that we don't have to be out there, that we have the choice to not be out there.
Thank God for the weather, whatever, if it's good or bad. Because the way, I don't know.
So in church, they do something every Sunday. We shake hands and we say, may peace be with you. What do you think the significance of that is? I mean, you've done it every Sunday forever. So what do you think?
I don't know. I've been trying to find out what that means myself. Because it don't really happen. Even if they tell you that, there's something in the back of your mind that says, can't happen like that.
May peace be with you?
Well, you're hoping.
I do, and I think that that's a big part of it, is like, I want you to be at peace. And I don't know how to help someone get there, but I want you from a distance, like even a stranger. I want them to be at peace. So may peace be with. That's actually the name of my book, or my perspective book that I haven't written yet.
Oh, that's a good title.
May peace be with you. And also with you. And we shake hands and we share that moment.
And that's the only time you get in touch with somebody else instead of your own thoughts.
That's an interesting idea.
Like this lady always said, I was looking forward to seeing you at church. I'm glad you came to church. Why would you care? You know why?
It's a stranger?
Yeah, she's kind of a. Well, I just met the lady. She's an acquaintance, not my friend or nothing like that. Even though she'll give me a piece of candy or little bag of candy or something.
That's neat.
Yeah, and I said, what does she mean by that? Hope she's not getting crazy about me. Oh no, it's just crazy things that get in your head.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you this though, Nana. Why is it that you go to church every Sunday?
I haven't been going.
You've been going pretty faithfully for,
I used to go to that
many
church
decades.
and then this church.
Why do you enjoy it? Why do you go to church?
To see what they're talking about. Seem like if I get advice or something, if I learn something from what they're talking about, and sometimes I feel they're talking straight to me, of whatever I was going through or whatever. Seems like the conversation was straight to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that, and I'm not even thinking of going for that reason. It's just that I'm there, and whatever maybe was in my head or something like that, maybe they just talked right up what I was like. That was right up my alley, whatever they was saying.
That sermon was just for you.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely hear that. There's been a few times that I've gone that just like, wow, this was, exactly what I needed to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you got a good one up there, definitely can do that.
Yeah, it all depends what. A lot of times I'm not even thinking of something, and they'll come up, and I say, "Oh my God, this is." I guess it's spiritually thing, whatever it was. With me, like they was talking straight at me.
Meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you think about God and angels and saints and things like that?
Well,
Have you ever had a conversation with any of them?
no, but let me see. There's only one thing that comes to my head right now. I was sitting there on Ashland and Chicago Avenue waiting for the bus to go. And all of a sudden, there come a cloud. Just a cloud. And it was like an angel shaped into an angel. It even had the crown of flowers and the wings like spread out like this, and it was like wavy, like lace, and it was a big cloud. And I tell this lady, I wish I had a camera. I said, nobody would believe that cloud came up like that. And she said, what cloud? I said, that one up there. Because it came right down Chicago Avenue, seems like. Honest to God, that was weird.
That's beautiful.
And then, what was so spooky about it was, came a wind, and the head came off to be like this skinny. I said, oh my God, that wasn't a good angel.
Head popped off.
Uh-huh. And it just
Whoa.
went real weird. And I said, oh, that wasn't a good sign. I said, shit, that wasn't a good angel.
That is really,
It got me scared after.
Well, you know what? I think an angel did come, but then one of the others came and said, enough of that.
Snatch it away from me.
Yeah, exactly. He said, oh. I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about good and evil, angels and demons. I really started to think about within each of us, we got both.
Mm-hmm.
Some got more of one than the other. But I think all of us got both. where they come from, I don't know. I don't know if they're heavenly or spirits or something that we've created within ourselves. You know, like if I go through something really bad, like somebody beats me up, you know, or I was an abused child or something like that, you know, I'm going to have these demons within me that are man-made. These are created because of my experiences. In the same way that, you know, I think that being around someone who's loving and kind and things like that creates these heavenly things that are also within me. So I don't know if they're 100% creation of our own mind, or what do you think?
Well, like I said, that is, like you say, good and evil in everybody. No matter who we are, we can't be perfect. We are not going to be perfect no matter what. Like, I used to think about this years ago. I mean, forever seemed like I've thought of good and evil because it's always in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Something always happens. And I was saying, Jerry was an asshole. But I said, he's got to pay for this. Whatever he does, it's his business, not mine. But I got to live with it, you know. Like I said, because it seemed like I was attached there somehow. Which I was, I suppose. And I said, he's a good person. A very good person. But then he's still devilish. Seemed like he had the devil attached to him somewhere.
Mm-hmm. They just couldn't shake it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I was part of it because I had to, you know, it's nothing I could do about it, whatever it was, but I guess that was his life. But I was attached somehow or another. I guess that's what marriage is.
Yeah, and you know, having kids together, I think that when you share your body with somebody, you exchange some of your soul.
Exactly, like I said, I was attached to the whatever it was. Like I said, he was generous. He was a hard-working person. But then still, there was a devil attached somehow, you know?
Mm-hmm. I wonder how that devil got there. And this is a big mystery of life.
Like I said, everybody's got two sides to a person.
Yeah, and there's also the idea of there are those who are mostly, let's just say, the light and of the dark. And if there is somebody who's mostly of the light, someone who's mostly of the dark is attracted to that person of the mostly of the light.
Okay, so when he died, when we were saying having his services over at the church, how would you think about it? I said to myself, I was talking about him, to him actually. Would you ever thought that there was all these ladies praying for you? You never thought that. I was saying that about him. And I said, there's some kind of a thing that God's going to forgive you. You know, because you did have a good side to you. And these ladies are praying. It was praying the rosary, you know, at the time. And I said, you'd have never thought that there was be this many people praying for you. It seems like that brought some kind of relief to be disconnected from him.
Mm-hmm. He was finally able to shake that demon, you think?
Mm-hmm. Seems like.
I think he got into heaven. And God has forgiven him for any kind of indiscretions that he might have done.
That's what I said. All these ladies praying for you. I know darn well there has to be God's got his hand on it to set you free.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. I think there's something in the afterlife that it's a mystery to us. But if we live a righteous existence, and if we live a kind existence, if we try to do right, despite our demons, despite not being perfect, we will be rewarded. And I'm fully confident in that there is a reward at the end of our existence.
I believe so. Like I said, God takes care of each one of us individually. He don't get us as a group, you know. That's why I say when I go to church, sometimes it touches you somehow or another. So that's what I get out of church. You know. Sometimes it don't mean a thing, you know, and it's hard to put your hand on it. Why didn't I feel this? Why didn't whatever it is I was going through or whatever? Even now, I said, I can't question it. I said, I know I'm old, getting old, and I'm just doing the best I can, and He's got me here for a reason.
So have you never? So you say you've never felt the presence of God?
Yeah, but I don't know when. I can't remember. But like I said, I know all I can say is I know He's beside you, taking care of you, whatever, you know, whatever you're going through, He's got you doing that for a reason, you know, whatever. If it's punishment or to make you think of what is wrong, what is right, which you know darn well in your mind that's the way it is.
Yeah, I've always had this idea that God is kind and benevolent and loving and good to us. So the only way that I can justify bad things happening to good people is that maybe in this existence that they're walking around on earth, this is painful and difficult and hard. But if they stay true and they stay faithful and they stay a good person despite their pain, then there will be that much more of a reward at the end of the day. They will be rewarded tenfold because they were, you know, some people live a life without that much pain. Really, just everyone experiences pain.
Yeah, and
some more than
people
others.
don't ever go to the doctor. They don't even have a reason to go to the doctor. They've never experienced a doctor or a toothache or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and some people just full of misery. It is.
I think that we're tested constantly. I think that on this earth we are tested constantly. Sometimes that means putting us through trials and tribulations and putting us through difficult times, and if you're doing it right, you're getting closer and closer to God. What do you think?
Well, this isn't funny. I'm just laughing at my own thoughts. But anyway, Sam, I like to see if up there, you know, when you get up there and stuff. All I can see is dead people, you know. It's just simple to say that. But I said, what are they doing up there? You know, God's got them doing this. He's got them as you know, helpers or whatever. And I said, I don't see angels, to tell you the truth. I just see the people that have gone before us, you know. And I said, He's got them doing what they didn't do here. And then I said, I wonder what Tina's doing up there. And then I said, well, I guess probably she's talking to Mom or Dad or my brothers, whoever has died, you know. And I said, maybe they got up there and they're having a reunion of some sort, you know. Not exactly a reunion, but a gathering of some kind. And because the other day, well, don't tell nobody what I'm telling you.
Should I turn it off?
Huh?
Should I turn this off?
Well,
You forgot that we've been doing this the whole time?
no, you have? Oh my God. Okay, turn it off.
Big part about finding inner peace is gratitude. I think that it's a skill that we learn how to be grateful. Because if I tell you the secret to obtaining inner peace is simply to be grateful. There's so much to be grateful for. You know, my sight, my sense, my vision, my hearing, you know, my legs, you know, these are things that people take for granted every day until they don't have them. You know, my family, my house, you know, everything is like, you don't sit there and say thank you for my fridge every day, but then your fridge breaks.
You're up to shit creek.
And you're like, damn, I really missed that fridge, you know. And then you realize that, wow, that's actually something that I can and should be grateful for. So how do you think that someone can develop that sense of gratitude?
Well, actually, it's just like this is just material stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it don't mean nothing if you got it, but when you don't have it, you miss it, you know, because you got used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's your life is what you have to be grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
No matter which way you look at it, it's your life. And you're just one person, one little person. You're not your family, you're not, but you're grateful for your family and hope that they feel what you feel, like grateful for your life. That's.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's your life that you got to be grateful for.
It's like I said, it's something that not everybody has, and it's a difficult thing to.
Yeah, you don't know how to be thankful for. I guess it's what you call being a selfish person.
Mm-hmm.
Just God knows why He gave you what He's got, what He gave you.
Yeah. So another big part of it is self-love. I think that you cannot obtain inner peace without self-love. What do you think?
That's true. Well, if you don't know what love feels like, you don't know what you're missing. You know.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have it in the beginning, which you grow up and you know what it feels like to what love is. That's why you can love another person or your family or things, you know, things that God made natural. Like I say, all this other man-made stuff is things that you want, and you need it. I mean, you can do without it actually, but like I said, that is selfish stuff, things. But he made it possible that you can have it. That's the way I see it.
So what about humility? Do you know what I mean when I say humility?
Yeah.
To be humble.
Mm-hmm.
I also believe that you cannot obtain inner peace without humility. What do you think?
That's kind of what I'm talking about. Like I said, it's if you don't love it, if you don't have, I guess that would be inner peace. You think your self-love or be thankful for what your body.
I think those are all individual pieces to the bigger puzzle, which is inner peace. Those are all pieces to the puzzle. So self-love, appreciation or gratitude, humility. But I don't know why being humble is necessary. That's actually something I'm still working through because I believe it to be true, but I haven't figured out why. I guess it's something to do with...
Well, if you don't have it, you don't care about nobody. You know what I mean?
That's true.
If you don't know what it is, you don't say. It don't mean nothing. It don't mean.
Yeah, it can kind of lead to selfishness without humility. Like the absence of humility is being selfish and greedy and egotistical and narcissistic, where it's like it's all about me. I'm the most important thing and all that. You know, that's not the path.
Yeah, but that's not what I mean about if you don't have love for your in your body. You know? You don't know how to give it to somebody else or care about somebody else. I don't know. Because a lot of people can go days and days, their lifetimes. I don't need nobody. It don't mean that you don't need to help you do this or that. Just that you need another human being to, I don't say to love or to care about, I should say. Something like that. Just care about the human race, really, I guess.
Yeah, and that's a part of living your life based off the role model, which is Jesus. And if you look at his teachings, and if you look at the words that he said, love your neighbor like yourself, feed the poor.
That's kind of what I'm trying to say, I guess, to care about other people. You know, just to say, I love the human race. Glad I'm part of it. Thank God I'm still here. Thank God that God put me in this earth for some reason. I don't know the reason yet, but I guess that's...
So what do you think, how does Mary Louise find inner peace?
Just like I said, care of my family and the people, just people, you know. No matter who they are, they're part of the human race. It seems like they're part of me, because they got a soul, just like I got. You know, everybody's got something to share with whatever. I don't know exactly, but not hate. You don't want to hate nobody. Like it's just a mystery.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the puzzle that I'm trying to unpack. And there's this idea too of walking in the light. It's an ancient idea that goes from before even Jesus was even born. And I think that when he came, he gave us a wonderful role model, and he opened the door for us with his sacrifice, right? But this idea of walking in the light and being one with the light is an ancient idea. And really, you know, when you carry yourself with kindness and love and joy and peace, and it's a part of who you are, you are the light. You are the light that is in the world. You know, that's what they call Jesus, right? The light when he was born. He's in the light to shine and, you know, illuminate the world or something like that. And we could be a part of that by the way in which we live.
Yeah, like I said, that he's still attached to us somehow or another. That we have all got the like the feeling of, oh, how should I put that? Well, he's part of us, or we're part of him.
Hmm.
In his image, actually. But still, we got our own soul, our own, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's this idea of Christ. In his sacrifice, I think that he opened the door for us because we are sinful creatures. Each of us individually are sinful creatures. We're selfish, we're, all these terrible things. And I think that when he sacrificed himself, that allowed us to be, in God's eyes, okay. Where it's like, well, basically, he's like, you're cool with him, you're cool with me. And, having that door open to us, and now we have to figure out the way in which to walk through it.
Yeah, and there's where that saying comes to. Love other people like you love yourself. You don't mistreat yourself. You don't have to,
Yeah.
But like I said,
And, realizing that we're all one thing. We're all one human person being born and born and born and born and born over and over and over again in different situations from different people. But we're all the same thing. We're all the same.
yeah, we all have aches and pains, or
Mm-hmm.
we've got feelings. That's no matter who we are, we do feel. We feel like we could all rule the world, maybe. But like I said, as just in a spiritual thinking,
Mm-hmm. That's a very interesting
we're all
thought.
part of this world. Let's just say.
Yeah. Each individual plays a role.
Mm-hmm.
And when we treat each individual with kindness and respect, that's how we
we're no better than
work
the
together.
other person, or that's why it's so. It's hurtful when people mistreat you, or or talk not talk kind about you, or whatever it is. It's not a good thing. I don't like that. When people say, "Oh, this person," I hate gossip. That's what I hate, gossip. It's not part of me. I mean, I don't like it. I don't like to hear it. I don't like when people criticize you, or criticize me. I'm sure that people do, but there's nothing I can do about it. That's really one thing I don't like, the gossip, or putting down people that there's nothing you can do about it, If there was something you could do about it, it'd be a different story. But you can't. That's all there is to it. And no matter how much you try, you can't take it back, because it's already being out there. Mm-hmm.
So, circling back to the beginning of this conversation, we talked about living a peaceful life and feeling the feeling of inner peace being two different things. And from everything I can see, you live a very peaceful life. So why do you think it is that inner peace is still eluding you?
Well, see, a lot of times it's that you don't let things get into you, like, let's say, for instance, say gossip. You don't let all that get in to hurt you. Because you want to avoid stuff like that. And that's the only way you can have peace of mind. And like I say, I wouldn't mind talking to people and stuff like that. I'll just say hi and bye and whatever. But like I said, it's to learn. I don't like to learn people, to know people, really, even their most inner thoughts. It's just against me somehow or another. Seems like if I I would have a best friend, and they'd tell me their secrets. I don't want to be burdened with that. That's too much for me to handle.
Yeah.
I don't want to know their life, because I've got a life of my own that I'm trying to deal with it. And you can't deal with these other people. Don't bring all this to me because I can't deal.
Yeah, I'm working on my own stuff. Yeah, that's something I'm also writing about. I'm working on mine, right? And I'm gonna help, my kin. But even when I help my kin, I can only help to a certain extent. So when we start getting further and further away, we're talking about, my husband or wife, my kids, and then we're talking about like my cousins and, more than that, further away. And then it's like we're talking about friends, and they're even further away from the center. It's like the people from the way out there, nah, I can't, I'm not going to take on that burden. I'm thinking about, I'm barely taking on the burden of my, spouse and children. I'm barely taking on theirs. I'm certainly not taking it on, my neighbor from down the block. So.
Okay, so for instance, no, I'm going to gossip now, I guess. But I'll just say this person would come and tell me, oh, this happened over there, this happened over. Why tell me about? I don't care about them people. I don't care about. They got to deal with it themselves. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't care about.
And if they need somebody to help them get through, there's always somebody who's willing to help.
Yeah, and there's God, like I said.
Exactly.
You talk to God about it, and
if they need help, they know where to go. And if they don't,
you're never alone.
Yeah.
You're never alone in this. No matter if I'm here alone all the time, But I know I'm not alone. I always got my mind, thank God. And I know that when I'm thinking about them, I know it's what I want. What I want to feel like, say, my sisters, or I don't have any close friends because I don't want to know. You know what I mean? And I say, why don't you have go this way? I don't want to know their gossip. I don't want to gossip about nobody. And like I said, the only thing I'm really interested in is not that I don't care what happens to them, which I hope for the best for everybody, But like I said, I want to go to the store. That's about all I care about, going to the store.
I got my own plans today. And that plan does not involve,
It's too much to worry about you.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I said, just hope that everybody's doing fine. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
But as far as, say, Peggy tells Carmela, I'm mad at you and your mother because... So there I go gossiping again. But like, just for example.
Yeah.
And like I said, I care if she's fine, but she keeps smoking, and she could be better if she stopped smoking. But like I say, I don't tell her anymore because I'm going to smoke until I die or whatever. Go on ahead, do what you got to do. But like I said, I'm not supposed to force myself into do this or do that, I can't because they got their own problems, they got their own feelings. If they want to smoke, go ahead.
And you also can't let that burden you.
Exactly.
Because you spoke your mind, and you said, you'd feel better if you quit, which is the truth. You said your piece, and it's one of those things. I forgot what song it is. It's a Mother Mary, comfort her, whisper words of wisdom, let it be. It's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah,
you whisper words of wisdom.
Song or something
Mother
like that?
Mary, it's so funny. It's like your song. It's Beatles, the Beatles. Because really, that's all you can do. And if you stop and say, and you stress about it, and you let that stress build up inside you, there's nothing you can do about it. So why let it enter you in the first place?
Exactly. That's what I started to tell you about. Okay, this person come and tell me this about this person. Why tell me about it? I don't want to be bothered with that. Not that I don't care, but why should I take on that burden, you know what I mean? I've got burdens on my own to take care of. I don't want to tell nobody my business. That's actually what that means. You don't go out there and tell the business to strangers or whatever in the heck. And actually, there shouldn't be a stranger in your life, to tell the truth.
Well, it's a different story though, because every situation is different. But what's true though is what you said about not letting the pains and so the idea is everybody's carrying their own cross, and you can't carry yours and someone else's. And what happens is the good people, the people who shine the most, people start dumping their crosses on them. You know what I mean? They didn't even ask for them. You know what I mean? They just get started. People start dumping it on them, and
tell me about it. Tell me about it. Tell me what happened. Oh, don't tell me anything. I already went through all that. No, and you're not ever going to feel emptying your guts out to nobody. That's not going to do any good. But like I said, it'll be in your mind no matter what. If you dump it out to somebody else, it'll still be in your head. It's just like the pages of your mind.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So I have this idea that it's not only just in conversation. I think that when I have pain or things like that, if it gets to be too much, what sometimes happens is out of anger or aggression or yelling or throwing, just lashing out. That's another way that I'm taking my pain and I'm spreading it around. Right?
Let everybody feel what I feel.
Everybody going to get a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to get a little bit of it. And I have all this pain within me, and you're going to get some, and you're going to get some, and you're going to get some. But the trouble is that it's going to grow right back. So I got this big weight on my shoulders.
I shouldn't have told him that. I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have did that.
Yeah, well then you have the weight from before. So I get into a fight with my boss. I have this weight. And then I yell at my friends and family and kids or whatever, and I yell at them. So now I got the original weight, which is what happened at work, plus the regret from spreading it around. So now I got double weight, and it didn't help, spreading out all this weight on other people.
It just made it worse.
It just made it worse.
Now everybody knows your business.
And now it snowballs, and it snowballs, and it snowballs. And then word gets around that I'm a bad person and everything. So really it multiplies in that way. And the best way to deal with pain and things like that is inward.
Yeah, like I said, talk to God and see what... Not see if He can help you. Just tell it to God because He knows your business in the beginning. And I said, well... I do that a lot, Or either say, why did this happen to me? It was going to be upon you anyhow, somehow or another, one way or another, in some fashion or something like that. Little pieces of that comes back to you somehow or another.
So when you do converse with God, is it always one way? Is it always just
Well, sometimes you get the idea that He gave you advice. Now you tell me about it. Now you feel like you're emptied your guts out or whatever it is. And if it helps you, well, that means He answered your prayer. That's what I needed.
Wonderful.
That's the way I see it. I may be wrong.
Well, we're all just guessing.
Yeah.
We're all just guessing. And really what I have to go off of is what I feel. And when I think about God and when I think about peace, I always think about Him as a feeling. And sometimes I use it as a code word. So I say, do you know the feeling of peace? Is almost the same thing as saying, do you know the feeling of God? Now it's different, but it's a feeling that we feel. When I have an interaction with God, it's something that I feel within me, that I know that I'm conversing with deity.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a feeling, and I felt it. And when I talk about peace,
That's why I say God answers your prayers a lot.
Yeah, He did. She did.
When you don't really realize it until later on, you'll say, "That's what that meant. That's what that was about."
Yeah, and sometimes if you're lucky, you'll be able to experience it, and you're not going to experience it every day.
Mm-mm.
I can't anyway. So maybe somebody can, and I'm jealous. But the moments that I do share with God are beautiful, and when I feel that feeling of God in my presence, I'm 10 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always a wonderful time, wonderful experience is being able to feel that feeling of being 10 feet tall.
That means He answered your prayers when you're really not expecting it.
Yeah, and that's when He does get you, when you least expect it.
Okay, let me tell you one little thing. This has been selfish. When Jerry left, I said, I hope he comes back, and takes care of his family and blah, blah. Selfish. Like it was supposed to happen so I could learn myself. Well, if it's meant to be, come back and take care of this family, because I don't know how, And I don't know what to do about it or what, all this baloney. So before you know it, he comes back and I said, what did I pray for? Honest to God. And I said, why was I praying for that? And I was miserable because he came back. Because I didn't really want him to come back. I mean,
I think you were just scared.
I thought that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't.
Yeah.
Because I learned that that wasn't going to help anything.
Yeah.
And so when Susie met the guy that she was going to marry, well, she thought she was going to marry, and she was praying, oh, this and that. She cried out loud and had her hands up in there praying and all that. I said, stop it. I said, you're praying for the wrong thing and for the wrong reason, because you're being selfish. Once he comes back, you're going to wish he was gone. Sure enough. He came back and he was making her miserable. See what I told you? You prayed for the wrong reason at the wrong time.
You got what you asked for.
And you asked real hard and he gave it to you all right. Said, but that wasn't going to happen. And I said, it happened to me, I tell you. I said, I prayed for all that, and I said, when he came back, I was miserable as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the deeper the relationship that I develop with God, the more I trust in whatever is put in front of me. And I don't ask for more than I need. I don't ask for selfish desires and things like that. The better the relationship I develop with God, the more I just trust. And I have faith. And
trust in God, and like I said, it's if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not, I say, why pray for it? Because if you don't want it to be that way, what can you do? You're not his boss.
We just get blinded by our pain.
Yeah,
we get blinded by our fear. We get blinded
because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to deal with the family by myself.
Yeah.
I said everybody was doing the wrong thing. Everybody went wild and all that bullshit. I said, excuse me for saying that. But I said, what was I going to do about it? You know, they weren't listening. They wouldn't listen to me. Well, I didn't even try. I guess I was just too involved in wanting the situation to get back like it used to be. And I said, why? It wasn't that good in the beginning. It was okay, but like I said, it wasn't. He was a hard worker and everything, you know. But the deals that was in between all that, like I said, why would I want to wish me bad luck again, you know? So this last time he came back, you know, he used to live at the building there. He'd come every day, sometimes twice a day. And I said, I used to want him to come back, but not like this. You know, it's not what I...
It's not fair.
He came at the wrong time. He came back at the wrong time, and that's not what's supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I called Clayton. Clayton, your dad's coming every day. I don't know what he wants, but it's making me nervous. And I said, he came over here wanting to rent my couch. Can I rent your couch? And I, yeah, you can take it with you. I said, I don't need it. He had a van, so I thought he wanted it for the van, you know?
Yeah.
But actually, I guess he just wanted to stay.
Yeah.
He said, don't you know what he's talking about? I said, he wants to rent the couch. That's all I know. And he said,
go ahead, take it with you.
I told him to take it. And he said, well, I'm glad you said that because he didn't want it anyway. That was too funny. When I stopped to think about it, when I stopped to think about it, it wasn't funny at all. It was too crazy.
But it was also, he was wanting you to carry his cross. And, you know, he had that opportunity because as a loving wife, maybe perhaps you would have been willing. But after he done and did what he did and left and wanted to start over and all that, and then after all that, that bridge has been burnt and peed on.
Oh, God.
that bridge is gone, come and gone.
And I told Clayton, if he gets up and walks out that door, I'm not going to go look for him. I said, I'm going to let him go. I said, so you better come and take him with. Because even he used to walk out while he was over there at that building. He'd take off and go downtown or wherever the heck. Then he'd stay gone. And then some Chinese people used to live in the building. They knew him because they lived in the building too, right? So they brought him home from downtown. What the hell he was doing downtown, I don't know.
How he ended up there either.
He took the bus, I guess, or walked or something. Like I told Clayton, if he gets gone, he's just gone, because I'm not going to go look for him. He said, that's what he needs for somebody to take care of him. Well, it's not going to be me, I said.
No way. No way.
Like I said, even if he'd have stayed here before he left, you know, in the beginning, if he'd have come in that condition like he was getting out and be gone and stuff, I would have went and looked for him. I'd have told Clayton about it or one of the other boys, but sometimes he'd be at the bar over there and they'd call whoever was there, they'd call Clayton. Said, he's over here again. So finally Clayton got tired of coming chasing him around, so they put him in the nursing home.
I think it's where he needed to be anyway.
But the last episode that he had, he took off somewhere. I don't know where it was at. It was on Ashland or someplace. And I think he got hit by a car, probably crossing the street or something. Because it looked like he was all, because I went to see him at the hospital.
Oh, I think I do remember that.
And he was black and blue all over and stuff. So it wasn't like somebody beat him up. I think he got hit by a car. So anyhow, it's scary. But like I said, God took him when it was his time.
Yeah. Yeah, at the funeral, I made mention that, you know, I didn't really get to know him. Because by the time that I was an adult and I was able to develop a relationship with him, at that point he was already too far gone. Now, there were moments, I think I had a couple of really good moments with him, even right up until the end. It was his birthday. We had his birthday at like a pizza place. I don't know if you remember that. We had his birthday at some pizza place. And before I left, I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving, Graham. You know, it's good to see you. And he gave me a good handshake, like a good handshake. And I was like, hey, Grandpa, you still got a good handshake there. He's like, wait. He couldn't talk. But he was like gesturing me, you know, like, wait. And he picked himself up and he sat straight and he fixed his arm just right. And then he like, all right, give me another one. And he gave me he gave it his all, man. He gave me a really good handshake. And it was like a point of pride of him, you know, that he still gave a good handshake. And he was a man's man, you know. He was a hard-working, blue-collar guy, and fast talker, but, you know, good guy. And I didn't really get to know him too well, unfortunately.
Anyway, Adam and Raymond really got to know him better than anybody. Because he was raised with him, you know. But he'd take him different places, especially to the car show or something like that. He took him to the car show over at what was the name of that?
McCormick?
McCormick place. So they got away from him. And he tells one of the security guards, I lost, my two grandkids took off and said, I don't know where they're at. So he said, is that them over there? He said, yeah, they was in this Lamborghini, what do you call that car? Lamborghini. Well, I don't know a lot about cars. Anyway, Adam, of course, was in the driver's seat, and Raymond was the passenger. You know? So they was over there really going, no telling what in their head what they was doing. So he went over there with a security guard, and so they got him out of the car. And I told Adam, he was already pretty sick. And I think it was that same birthday party you're talking about. And I said, do you remember that? I told Adam. He said, yeah, I remember. And he said, that was fun. And Raymond said, he was a good grandpa. He was a good grandpa. So, like I said, he'd take him different places and stuff. Of course, they were almost like his kids because we raised him since he was little. And like I said, I'm glad that he didn't have no interest of too much, but Raymond got interested in the baseball. That's where he got his outlet.
Mm-hmm.
Took over a lot of the pain away,
mm-hmm.
and then going to live with them people.
That was good for him too.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing a different world than the world he was in.
Yeah.
Experiencing, you know, the other half.
Mm-hmm. That's why he turned out so much different. But Adam looked into the eyes of the gangbangers. There was one of them gangbangers that really took him under their wing. And then he got killed. There at the park, playing basketball. But anyway, that left Adam out in the cold.
Again.
and he started whatever, trying to be a big shot, as little as it was. He was like, say, 13, 12 or 13.
That's really where he starts to begin to tell me his story. So I don't really know too much about Adam's backstory. I think that was pretty enlightening.
Yeah, because Edwin didn't really pay no much attention either. And like I said, it'd been Raymond the same thing if he hadn't gotten to the baseball. It's sad. Like I said, it's...
I think now, though, I mean, we got to look to the future. And I really think that Adam is at least walking in the right direction. And for a long time, he was walking backwards and he was running backwards in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think I can totally tell that he's walking in the right direction. His son is named Nazareth. Jesus of Nazareth. And he named his kid Nazareth. I think that was big. And I really see that he's, changed his tune a lot. He's I mean, he had a handful of kids before this one. But with this one, he's there, he's changing diapers, he's, doing his thing. So
He'll change someday, like I said.
And I think that day's approaching, if it hasn't already. And I really see, when I look to the Robersons and I look at all of us, I really see us moving in the right direction. And, a lot of the time, I'm the weirdo, the oddball, saying weird stuff and doing weird things. And, but if I'm helping in any manner, in any way, it doesn't matter what they call me. I'll be that. I'll be the they call it the foil. Not necessarily the bad guy, but just the guy that, that wacky, oh, he's just crazy, And,
no, that's not.
And then that's okay with me, though. That's okay with me because
that's not so. Don't take it too hard, because you have to live your life the way you...
Well, the thing is, I'm figuring out this puzzle. And the puzzle is that I'm not alone. So it's one thing. So I began the journey of finding it for just me. The journey is to find peace. And I found it within me. Great. Wonderful. But then I looked at my sister, my dad, my mom. Like, man, they don't have it. Well, how can I have it? It's selfish. If only I have it and they don't. So I can't keep it. I can find it, but I can't keep it if they don't got it. So then I'm okay. Well, let me start pointing these guys in the right direction. And then it's my cousins and aunts and uncles and everybody. And I say weird things and I do weird things and they call me crazy for it. But I could totally see that I've made an impact with my, talking about Buddha and talking about, inner peace and talking about, Jesus and talking about, the light and the universe and, things like that. And it people find me strange, but I can see a change happening. And I hope that I'm a part of it, but maybe that's a selfish thing to think about, that I'm assuming that I am. But I see my family moving in the right direction, and it makes me so happy. It makes me happy every day that I see Adam and I see Gary and I see everybody like changing their mindset and wanting to walk in the light.
Mm-hmm.
And
the one that surprised me the most, besides Adam, is Ricky, little Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
He really surprised me, even though he's going through hell right now.
Mm-hmm.
This will make him stronger, I think.
I think so too.
Because it's not the first time that he's here I am gossiping again. I have to catch myself. And like I said, he was really heartbroken when he saw it was a real thing, And so anyway, I guess he saw that it's so real.
I think that God gave him exactly what he needed. And God worked through her, I think, because he quit smoking. He doesn't really drink anymore. He's changed his whole life for the better. And I think that God's given him exactly what he needs. And it's painful. And it's hard, and it's not what he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But it's what he needed. I'm so proud of my cousin. I'm proud of Ricky right now.
I think I've had too much sugar. I think I'm feeling it. I better go check my sugar. I'm going to check and see what.
All right, well, thank you so much, man. This has been a really lovely
A
talk.
conversation, but it didn't last a while. You came for.
That's okay. I think that was very useful information.
Oh my God. Anyhow, like I said, it's that meat was really good.
I'm glad you enjoyed dinner.
Oh.
Well, may peace be
You're not
with you now.
leaving.
I am. It's 9 o'clock. It's 9:30 already. I gotta go.
I gotta check my sugar.